Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Plant Based with Nicole. I'm your host, Nicolershaeholiday, also known as Plant Based Nicolershaeholiday on Instagram. Y'all know what to do. Go check me out. It'll be in the description below. Make sure you follow me, okay? I better see some new followers today. Anyway, you guys, today I'll be interviewing Amone Johnson. He's also known as From Meathead to Meatless on YouTube and Instagram. His physique is phenomenal. Last week my guests and this week's guest, I mean their abs are just abbing, y'all. I need to find out how to get my abs like that because yeah, I need some advice, some coaching today. So we're gonna get into how he got his body looking the way he did. Anyway, a little bit about my guest. He is 230 pounds of muscle, all muscle. He is a raw vegan nutritionist expert. He is a NASM certified PT, an online fitness coach. He's aging backwards every day. I can't wait to talk to him about his lifestyle. He eats a raw vegan diet, and his body is just muscle. So, I mean, we need to find out what's going on. Like, how can I be down? I got some muscles, but not like that. Anyway, without further ado, let's bring on Amone Johnson. Thank you so much, Amone, for coming on my platform today. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to bring as much value as I can to your listeners. And so, yeah, I'm ready. I'm an open book.
I've been watching you on YouTube for like a few years now. So yeah. So I'm happy to have you because I think I've tried to reach out to you a few times, and I think you were telling me your Instagram, you didn't have an Instagram or something about you couldn't get in your account and all that. So you finally created a new one, right?
Yeah, well, Instagram shut me down for no reason. They gave me no warning, and
Oh, dang.
it was
That's not
a
cool.
political thing because I was talking a little bit about COVID and things like that, and then I got shut down. So I don't want to say it's because of that, but they gave me no reason, and so they shut me down. And, I didn't want to get back on Instagram. I'll be honest, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So I ended
Yeah.
up going and getting back on. So
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you got the Instagram because it's easier for me to like message people I'm interested in interviewing on Instagram. So I was like, oh, he finally got an Instagram. Now I can message him. And here you are.
bam, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I know you because I've been watching you so long, but you're like, I'm new to you because you didn't know me.
I didn't know that you've been watching me for a while. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So this YouTube, I have several YouTube channels, and this one, it's funny because I created it just out of like wanting to help people because veganism is not, it's not what I do, but I was like, this is a good thing. It's helped me so much. And I
Hmm.
would spread that and share that. And I also wanted to be a light for people who think veganism is, it makes you weak and it's not manly and you're small. And I'm like, well, I'm bigger than everybody and I'm stronger than everybody. So then let me just show people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The proof is in the pudding. 6'4", 230 pounds of muscle, bruh.
And then people started to reach out to me, like, to coach me and things like that. So that's where that started. But I never started this with that intention. And still to this day, it's just like I just want to help people. So
Yeah. And you're helping lots of people. And you're gonna help me today because you're gonna tell me how you got them abs. No.
I'm ready for the question. Go ahead, you can ask me.
So, well, let's go back a little bit. Like, first of all, I know you eat currently raw vegan. Um, how long have you been eating a vegan diet altogether?
I started January of 2017, so I'm coming up on 8 years. Next year will be 8 years.
Congratulations. Okay. Um, so almost 8 years. And how long if I'm not mistaken, you you do raw a lot, but then sometimes you might go back to cook as well sometimes.
But I feel like it.
Yeah, right. Because we could do whatever we want to do, right? It's all about like what we want to do and what our body's calling for. I'm the same way. So currently right now you're like on a raw kick.
I've been mostly raw for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that, but like my birthday was 2 months ago. I went and I had cooked Thai food, and so every so often I might have something cooked if I want it. But here's the I don't. It's not a religion, but here's my rule. If I don't eat a lot of raw food in the day, then I don't feel as good. So that I have to do. So I have to, no matter what I do, I have to eat a lot of raw food. I have to have salads. I have to have berries. I have to have, things like mangoes, melons, juicy, hydrating fruits. So those things I have to have, right? But I'm not against cooked food. I just have to take it to the next level and be totally raw because I feel really good. So
Yeah, I'm the same way. I kind of listen to whatever my body tells me because sometimes it's like right now it's on a raw kick, like most not even fully raw, but just like really, really fully like the highest level of raw, like not completely, but um it just feels better, but then there's sometimes where my body's like, okay, let's have some more beans and rice and sweet potatoes, and I just give it what it wants because I don't know, I just feel like people should listen to their body and not try to force things because they've been saying, oh, I'm raw, now they feel like they got to stick to it. No, just do what you want to do. It's your body, you didn't sign a contract. It's like whatever you feel,
funny, people think it's like a religion type of a thing, right? It's like you're either all in or you're not. And that type of an attitude is why people fail on diets. And this is not a diet, it's your lifestyle.
Mhm.
So if you want to eat, if you feel called to eat raw, then I feel like you should eat raw. But every time that you feel pulled to eat that good food, I say go ahead and eat it. I say go ahead and eat it. Try to keep it to whole foods, at least mostly. And because I feel like all of it is different levels of consciousness in my, I'm sorry, there's a plane, I don't know if you can hear me. But I feel like all of it's different levels of consciousness. So when you go vegetarian, I feel like it happens as a side effect of your consciousness increasing. And when you go vegan, I feel like that's another raise in your consciousness. And then when you get to a certain point where you can feel the difference between how raw food makes you feel versus cooked food. That's when you start to get interested, and you have to go at your own pace. So you go raw and then you go back to cooked. You do that for as long as you need to do it. And if it's for the rest of your life, that's okay. That's your path. But there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's all about what makes you feel the best at the time.
Exactly. That's exactly my philosophy as well. So what made you go 8 years ago to eating a vegan diet? What was going on in your life that made you want to do that?
Good question. Um, so I have to take you all the way back to 2010, which is 14 years ago. And that's when I had my spiritual awakening. And that's when
Mm.
I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana. It's a small town. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's a little itty bitty town, and all we eat is meat, Oh, vegans are or anything like that. And I'm not there now. I'm in Los Angeles, but
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So when I first woke up spiritually, I saw a vegan eating a raw vegan meal. And it was just all of these beautiful, brilliant colors, and it was all these fruits and things like that. And it looked so beautiful and so alive. And I instantly said to myself, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what a vegan was, but I said, that's how to eat. I said, I'm going to eat like that one day. And I was still a meathead at that time. So, so I said, that's how I'm going to eat someday. And that planted the seed for years later in 2017. I saw Earthlings. I watched
Mm.
Earthlings. And when I
I
saw that,
watched I only was able to watch half, but I was crying. It was so
I was
sad.
bawling. I was bawling my eyes out. Like
Me too.
I cried an hour after the movie was over. I just cried and cried and cried. And after that, I immediately on the spot, after I watched that, I threw out all my meat and went to the store and I got vegan food. I didn't even know how to cook I thought it was rice. Make tofu, and it was like disgusting because I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, so that was the beginning of my journey, and I said I gotta learn how to make vegan food good because I have two sons as well, and me feeding
That's
them.
I heard you say that in a video the other day, and I was like, "What?" Like I mean, I know anybody can have kids, like you can start kids at 20 or 19 or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, for some reason, you just seem so young. I know you're 39, right?
38, 38.
38.
Yeah.
I know you're like, you know, almost 40, but well, you look younger than that. And then you have two kids. That's crazy. How old are
Oh, yeah.
they?
So they're 12 and 16. I have two boys, and yeah, so they're almost grown. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy. If you did look if you okay, for me, I don't imagine you having kids, but if you did, I would imagine them being like 2 or
I
3.
know.
Like,
That's the beauty of this. I mean, genetics have a little bit to do with things, but that's the beauty of this lifestyle. Which is you don't age, but you don't age the same, but it's a mental thing too, right? So for me, it goes hand in hand with the spiritual thing that I was telling you about earlier.
uh-huh.
So I meditate. I meditate every single day
Mm,
and yoga, and I got into yoga late, like super late, but I hurt my back um, working out. And so yoga saved me. Yoga fixed my back and saved me. So I do yoga
okay.
religiously. I meditate religiously and I create. I'm always creating something. And these things plus the diet and I exercise as well, that'll keep you young. If you're
Yeah.
creating or if you're meditation they've shown actually makes your brain grow. Like it literally makes your brain grow when you meditate. So I put all these things together and it keeps me so,
Yeah, you look great. And when people say they meditate, is it like you find something like on YouTube, like some type of a meditation and you just do it with it, or do you just do your own meditation by yourself, just close your eyes and just meditate on life?
so I mean that well, okay, so those are two different things. So like contemplation is when you sit and you think about life and you reflect and you say, where do I want to go? Or, what do I want to change? And that's like I would call that contemplation. And I do that. I started with guided meditations. And this was years ago, but I started there and then I got to the point where I meditate. Now what I'll do is basically it's kind of hard to describe, right? Somebody would have to do it, but I'll sit and I sit, usually it'll be in like a traditional cross-legged position.
Hmm.
And I'll either just have my hands like in my lap or I might do like the traditional meditation
Yeah.
pose. And I'll just sit there and I will focus on my breath. I'm drawing my awareness into now because what we do throughout the day is our minds are always doing, and our minds are always in the past or the future. So what I'll do is I'll draw my attention into the present by focusing on my breath, my heartbeat, everything around me, what I might feel, what I might hear, and it makes me completely present in the moment. And I want to stay in that presence for as long as possible.
Mm,
That's it. That's all meditation is. You don't have to sit to do it. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to, you could be dancing and meditate.
hmm.
It's just being completely present to this moment where you don't have the thoughts turning and going. You're just completely present right
That's amazing.
there.
You got me wanting to just sit here and meditate real quick. Let's just close our eyes and not say nothing for 10 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, um, you have a lot of videos out. What are you talked about 3 benefits of going raw. Like what are your 3 benefits of going raw?
So, okay. Hmm. You want me to say my benefits that I've noticed since going vegan or particularly raw?
Let's do the raw.
Okay. So since going, I gotta think like really, really
And
because
don't even try to remember what you said in the video. Just
yeah,
speak from your heart. What benefits have
yeah,
you had? You know what I mean?
yeah. So, okay. So the benefits that I always notice when going raw Number one, the way that I think changes. It upgrades a little bit. My creativity is a little bit better. I write, I make music, I do a lot of creative things. And so those are my report, you know what I mean, on how my creativity is doing. So when I'm doing these things, when I feel an extra boost of creativity and inspiration, I know that something good is happening. And when I go raw, that always happens.
Nice.
Number
Nice.
one. Number two would be I'm leaner, easy, right? This is the vanity one, right? But I just this here, like it's the raw foods are very filling, and you don't eat as much, and I'm not having as much salt. That's a big one. So I'm leaner.
Right. The
So that,
sodium definitely decreases.
yes, and I usually eat a lot, and so I usually eat a big dinner before bed, which I try not to do. You're not supposed to eat right before bed, but I end up eating because I'm always trying to get my food in to eat
Hmm.
enough so that I can recover from my workouts. And so I'll eat before bed, and when I do that, when it's cooked, I sweat when I sleep, and when it's raw, I don't.
Hmm.
So the sweats that stuff.
That's
Especially
interesting.
like if you have a partner, that can be a bad thing if you're sweating in the bed, you know what I mean? Sweating all
And
over.
you're not even going through menopause.
No, yeah, menopause or so, I don't know. But you know what it
Okay.
is? It's all the food and the salt and my metabolism is doing. And so
Hmm.
my body increases and then I sweat. So
Yeah. Nice. Thank you for sharing. Um,
yeah.
how do you structure your raw day of eating? How do you structure your day of eating when you're eating raw? What do you eat? Like what talk to me about the whole day or do you only eat once a day? Just tell me what you eat.
Okay. So it's super simple. Like I'm really, for me, it's all about convenience, but it has to taste good. I'm all for it has to be healthy and it has to taste good. So so what I eat is so it's not fancy. Like you see all these raw vegans on YouTube and they're making all the fancy stuff. And I've done that stuff. But for me, it's not practical every day. Like I got kids, I got multiple businesses, and you know what I mean? So it's just not practical.
Oh, I get it. I'm the most simple, boring, eatingest person. I don't do all that. I mean, I might have done it a few times in my life, the recipes, but I'm very simple.
Yeah.
Like I don't have time for all that either. So walk me through how you eat in a day from the morning till night. A
Okay.
sample. A
Yeah,
sample.
right. So just an example. So, and it doesn't change that much. And also remember the way I eat is mostly due to convenience. It's like this will give me the results that I want, but the reason I do it this particular way is convenience. So I just wanted to preface with that. So I do intermittent fasting, but it's because of convenience.
Mm,
So there is the slight health benefits of intermittent fasting. I think if you're already eating healthy, it doesn't matter, but for me, it's a convenience thing. So I do intermittent fast. So I do eat breakfast. And whenever I do eat, it's a smoothie every single time. It's a smoothie. And in that smoothie, I'll put a protein powder. I'll
mhm.
put water. I'll put, I'm not recommending this to everybody. There's ways to make everything taste better and be fancy. Okay. But just saying. So, protein powder, I'll put fresh ground chia seeds or flax seeds. I grind them right on the spot so they maintain their nutrition. And I'll put bananas, frozen bananas. I'll put blueberries. Those are my favorite berries. Sometimes strawberries, but mostly blueberries.
Mhm.
Wild, I'll go for the wild ones because of the higher antioxidant content. Um, and yeah, sometimes I'll put a little bit of Ceylon cinnamon, which is good for keeping your blood sugar stable and lowering inflammation. Um, and oh, I'll put a cacao, some cacao, I'll put like a tablespoon of cacao, which is good for the skin and gives you energy. And plus, I just love chocolate. Uh, and that's it. I'll mix that up. I'll eat that, and I'll have with that some greens. So I always put greens with it because I feel like when I eat greens with it, it just makes me feel better. So,
When you
so
say
that's
with it,
breakfast.
Do you mean in the smoothie?
I never do that because I don't like to ruin the taste of the smoothie. So
Oh, but you can't taste it. Well, I
that's what
can't
they
taste
say. That's what they say. But not one of my.
it. You're like, I can taste it.
So I eat that stuff.
So you eat it on the side.
And lately I've been having that, and I'll have some dates with that. So breakfast is a smoothie, dates, and the reason for that is bananas and dates are a way to get a lot of calories.
Mhm.
And I eat about 4,000 calories a day, so that's a
Dang.
lot. So I
Uh,
know. So breakfast
and
is
and
about,
your stomach stays flat like that?
yeah. Well, you have to think I'm heavy for one, and then I'm active, right? So I work out, and I work out really, really, like when I say I work out. There's sweat, giving it everything I got.
Yeah. Dang. Your abs though. I'm
Also,
like,
okay, so go
when
ahead, go
my stomach is poking out after every meal, I'm like, what the well, I'm also a woman going through menopause. I got hormone stuff going on, but I'm
ahead.
like so jealous.
So yeah, so we can get to the abs, but here I'm going to tell you. So the rest of the day is lunch is similar.
Mhm,
I told you I was boring and playing with this. Lunch is a smoothie,
mhm,
and um, it's similar to the first smoothie. Basically the same thing. I do it again, and then but with that I'll have like mangoes, and like juicier fruit.
mhm,
I just want it, And that's my favorite thing to eat right now is mangoes. Because the mangoes I'm getting are so good. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, so I'll have the same lunch is the same thing, but instead of dates, I'll have mangoes, usually mangoes, but something juicy. It might be cherries or depending on what I can get. If I have to, it'll be apples. I'm not a big fan of apples.
Mhm.
That's all I have. That's right. Um, but that's it. That's lunch. And then
Do you put protein powder in that smoothie too? Okay. Yeah.
so protein on protein. So so I do that. That's my lunch. And then dinner is a big salad, a huge salad. It's like a pound of greens, and it'll be like mixed greens and arugula. Arugula is my favorite.
Mhm. Me
So
too.
I hate arugula, but yeah, it's my favorite. And I'll put cucumber, celery, tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. What else? Sprouts. Um, I have to think of everything that's in there.
Mhm.
There's more. I know there's more. Sometimes I'll put sauerkraut, bell pepper, different color bell peppers in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes carrots, red cabbage. I call it purple cabbage because it's purple. So just a little bit of everything goes into
Mhm.
that salad. It's just a massive salad. I'll have that, and I'll have some blueberries, just like a bowl of blueberries with it. That's like my dessert. And then I'll have some hemp seeds. I used to make those hemp seeds into a dressing and then blend it and, put that over the salad. But now I
Yeah.
just prefer to have the hemp seeds separate because I don't know, I don't like salad dressings right now.
What? I was about to ask you what kind of dressing are you using? You don't put dressing?
Literally no dressing. I would use the dressing and then I would use after the dressing, I started doing olive oil and lemon. But now I'm just in a place where at the taste of each thing I enjoy. So I don't
What?
put no dressing. I know that's crazy.
I can't do that. I mean, like when you say no dressing, like even avocado and lemon juice
Okay,
smushed in there.
that's
Do you
enough.
smush the avocado in there?
Just cut it up and I'll fill it in.
So you don't even like smush it in there with the lemon juice in it.
I used to. I did do that for a long time, but once you get to a certain level of veganism, like super advanced vegan,
I've been almost 14 years. I don't think I'm gonna ever get to that level.
you're like, nah, that's not a thing.
I need some dressing or at least some avocado smushed in there with lemon juice or something just to make it, a little bit wet, like not wet,
Yeah,
juicy. I don't know how to explain. You know what I
I know
mean?
I know what you mean. I
You
never,
just you just on another level, and that's all good.
nobody should try to do what I do and think like, oh, this is how I have to do it to get the results.
Mhm.
Like it's not for me, it's convenience and it's what I enjoy. So my diet is really, really basic. I
Mhm.
enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the fancy raw vegan foods. And at a certain point, like I mean, if they're around, I eat them, right? But I
Right.
just on a day to day, I'm looking for how can I eat quickly? Like how can I just
Mhm.
get this, knocked out quickly and get these calories in and get a little bit of protein. And that's my mindset. So
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get to that level. Cause that dressing be taking the extra 5 minutes to make.
that's
You know what I mean?
just if
Um,
you have it, I would advise it because you have to enjoy your food.
yeah, true that. So what kind of meals do you eat when you're eating cooked meals?
So my cooked food is a little bit more exciting when I eat it. I do typically when I'm eating cooked food, it's like I'll make I'll take lentils. Now, if I make beans, I try to always soak them just for
Yeah.
the increase in absorption. It's not for the anti-nutrient thing that everybody's talking about these days, which I think is BS, but that's another story.
Hmm.
Um, so I soak it for the increased nutrients. But I'll do like red lentils and I'll cook the red lentils and I'll take some of those and I'll add like a spelt flour. I'll season it up. I'll add some garlic, some onion, and make that into burger patties, or I'll make it into like taco meat. I'll season it up different, make it into taco meat, or chickpeas. I'll do the same kind of thing with chickpeas. It might be
Mhm.
a egg salad with chickpeas and different sandwiches like with Ezekiel bread or like a homemade chickpea tortillas. I do like a
Mm.
lot of alkaline. I try to do a lot of alkaline when I'm doing cooked food, so
Yeah.
that's the food kind of stuff. Um, and I'm trying to think what else, like quinoa. I'll do a lot of quinoa, Japanese sweet potatoes. That's my
Mm.
I love Japanese sweet potatoes with
Yummy.
cinnamon.
Yeah.
Um, a lot
So
of stuff.
you eat the basics, and it really comes down to like for whole foods for a plant-based eater is really like if you're eating cooked and all that is beans, rice, vegetables, fruit, nuts, and seeds. Like, but we just cook them different ways and mix and max. You know what I mean? That's what it all comes down to, right?
And it might seem, yeah, and it might seem limited, but it's really not limited because you just like you can with like you used to do back in the day with whatever you ate, you can season something 50 different ways.
Yeah.
Everything into different types of dishes. Even now, like raw vegan for the longest, and I will do this again at some point, but walnut meat to me is very versatile.
Oh, yum.
So like when I'm making tacos, or I used to do these lettuce wraps every day,
Mm.
and they would be with the walnut meat, and I would make like a raw cheese and put that over them, and that's delicious. But I'm doing it right
Ooh.
now.
Wait. Ooh, you got me. Cause I make this walnut meat. You got me wanting to make it now. It's so yummy. I make it and it actually looks like it's some ground meat or something.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I make lettuce leaf tacos.
It's the
It,
same thing. Yeah, same thing.
oh,
It's
so
so I
delicious.
wouldn't think, but it's so good.
It's so good. So high in fat, but so good.
So that's another thing is like I don't do the low fat. Some people do the low fat. I know they
Yeah.
do. I believe that a person should have at least 20% of their
Mhm.
calories from fat. Um, just for hormones, for
Yeah,
hormones. So
I
you
agree.
serve so many purposes. So I don't do low fat, but I don't do high fat either. So it's in the middle.
My I think I'm like around 30. It just ends up coming out to around 30-ish percent of my daily, and that might be too high, but that's what works for me because it helps me
I mean,
my
you look great.
hormones.
You look fantastic. So I
Oh,
don't know if
thank
you
you.
told me your age. They say never ask a woman her age,
I'm
but
I'm I'm not ashamed. I'll be 50 in 2 months.
wow. Yeah, you look amazing. You look
Thank
amazing.
you.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Oh my god. Every time I say the number, I trip out. I literally trip out. Like, what? What do you mean 50? I'm tripping myself. But yeah,
It's crazy.
November.
When I feel like whenever you're like yourself, you look so healthy. I'm sure that you feel good, right?
Yes.
So I look forward to turning 40. I wish I was already 40 because I know when I'm 40, people will be like, okay, what are you doing? I want to know.
Yeah.
Then like when I'm 50, people will be like, what are you doing? They'll really want to know. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's how I am. If a person is, like, if you're younger than 40 and you're giving me health advice, I don't want to hear it. Pretty much like if a person is 50 and over, that's who I kind of look to.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Because you're 50, 60, 70, 80, and
Right.
thriving. So what you're doing is working long term. Because anybody can look good and feel good in their 20s and even in their 30s a lot.
Yeah. I kind of steered away from watching the 20 and the 30-year-olds on YouTube, and I'm like, you can't relate with me anymore. No.
Adults and feel great. Like,
Yeah, and they don't understand all the hormone stuff that, when you get like above 40 and all the things that we go through when because our estrogen is decreasing and just things are different now. So I watch, a lot of women that are over 40. Um, Even though you're younger than 40, I still been watching you. I haven't stopped watching your channel. But,
people, you
huh?
can
Was it
unsubscribe, and when I turn 40, you can subscribe.
right? I'm gonna put you on pause for a minute. No, I'm just kidding. Um, how much protein do you aim to eat a day? And then, well, you kind of touched on some of your sources. You eat lentils when you're eating cooked foods and beans, and then you do your protein powders. Okay, let's do this. How much protein do you eat a day around grams wise? And then when you're eating raw, what sources of protein are you eating besides the protein powder?
So, okay. So I was a big for since I was 18 until I was about 30, 30. I got 240 grams of protein every single day from 18 to 30.
Doggone. Are you serious?
Well, because I was 240 pounds, and the prevalent belief has always been
Yeah.
eating
1 gram per no, wait, 1 gram of protein per body weight or something like that?
body second. Yeah.
That's
So that's
that's
like
too much.
it's a lot of protein, right? So I did that until I was 30. And then once I went vegan, because I wanted to eat whole foods and I didn't want to be eating seitan, which isn't a whole food, my protein decreased just, because realistically I could only get about 200 grams a day. So my protein decreased when I was 30 to 200 grams a day. And now as a raw vegan, my protein has gone down to as low as 80 grams a day. But right now it's around 140 grams a day. But you have to understand that I weigh so much more than that. And I'm still
Yeah.
able to put on muscle and I'm still able to get stronger. So I've disproved my own, what I learned a long time ago, that you have to eat a gram of protein to find a body weight. I've disproved that. It's not true.
How are you getting 100, would you say 140?
140.
40 when you're eating raw. How much protein powder are you putting in those smoothies?
It's so easy. Like it's so okay. So my smoothies have 40 grams from protein powder,
Mhm.
right? So that's 40 and 40, that's 80.
That's 80.
I have the chia and or flax seeds. That's maybe
Mm.
another 10 or so,
Mhm.
right? So then between the hemp seeds that I have, and then whatever other, which I didn't even get to that, I'll usually have another, like maybe some walnuts, it might be cashews or whatever,
Yeah.
but between the hemp seeds and that, I get 50 grams of protein. Easy. So I'm
Okay.
already at 90, and then I get 50 or so. It might be 40, but then every fruit that I eat has a gram of protein. The greens that I eat, the pound of greens that I eat have, I don't know exactly how much protein, but it's like, I don't know, maybe 10 grams of protein or something like that, maybe a little bit more. But so I'm getting, and I don't even count that. So really, I'm probably getting more than that, but actively, like 140.
Wow, that's dope. See, y'all, you can get enough eating vegan or raw vegan, and you can still look like him. Speaking
Yeah.
of looking like you, I need you to break down the abs. Like, how do you get abs like that?
Well, you said break down. That's a good word because you do want to break the muscle down in order for it to build back up stronger, right? So that's good. That's good. But so okay, so there's a workout component and there's a diet component, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing is get quick fixes out of your head because I've been working out for 21 years.
Mm,
That's number one. And that's consistently. I've never quit. Um, I've never, maybe I have taken small breaks here and there, but
yeah.
not really. Um, and so that's number one. But here's the thing that's going to shock you. I work my abs one time a week for
What?
about, yeah, for about 10 minutes.
Mm.
That's it. So that's the muscle building component of it. The other component of it is diet. So no matter if you're raw vegan, if you're eating cooked food, whatever it is, you still have to be in a caloric deficit to lose weight. But there's a couple of interesting caveats to that. When you're having high levels of omega-3, your metabolism works better. You stimulate your metabolism better. So the freshly ground chia and flax seeds, you don't want to buy them already ground because then you're not getting they turn rancid. You don't get what you think you're getting from the flax and chia. And I'm of the belief that we should all be eating flax or chia every day, at least 1 tablespoon. But it should be freshly ground. So you do that, that helps the metabolism. So there are a few little tricks, but you want to be in a caloric deficit. So if you
Hmm.
take what you ate last week and you say, okay, I ate, XYZ last week and I stayed the same weight. That's what you need to eat to stay the same weight. But if you want to get leaner, you have to eat a little bit less. So
Hmm.
you want to take something out, right? And you want to do it as
Or burn a little more,
or yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. You can do that too, but that's harder, right? Because if you're, let's
Right.
say you're already now and you're like, okay, now I have to work out even more, right? So
Yeah. True.
that I find is a harder way to do it, but you can do that. But I think it's a little easier to decrease your calories. When you want to lose weight, you start small. So if you decrease your calories by 150 or something like that, and then see how that affects you for the next 2 weeks. And then you can go from there. And
Yeah.
you definitely want to work out because the more muscle you build, the more food you can eat because your body burns more calories just to exist. So the more muscle you build, the more food you can eat and stay
Right.
lean. So
Yeah.
in my case, I can eat 4,000 calories a day and be lean. And for anybody, if you build muscle, you can eat more and be leaner because that's just how muscle works. But yeah, you need to be in that caloric deficit to get because everybody has abs. They're there. Everybody has a six pack, right?
Yeah.
It's under some layers. That's
Under
the
the fat.
yes, but it's there. Everybody has it, even if you don't work your abs, they're still there. The reason I
Are
work
you serious? Like even like if people don't work out, if they losing the fat, they'll see a six pack?
so as a personal trainer, right, you see the human anatomy, right? And when you look and you see the muscles with everything, the fat and the skin off, there's a six pack. That's the rectus abdominis. It's a six pack right there. Well, for some people it looks like four, right? But
Yeah.
if you get the fat off, it's there. The only reason why I work it and why some people work it is so that the muscles will be a little more pronounced.
Yeah. I got 2 months, man. I got 2 months to get my six pack. My birthday's coming up in November. I got
Yeah,
I gotta get it right. I
yeah.
don't okay, I'm not expecting to have like a six pack by then, but I definitely am trying to lose the menopausal belly fat
Is
and the back fat by November.
yeah, do you have a specific like weight that you want to be? I'm not going to coach you on this call, but do you have
I'm I mean, okay, I'll just give the weight, but it's not for me, it's not about the weight, it's the fat I want off. But I would say like about 10 pounds. I'm about 150 right now. So like if I lost about 10 pounds of fat, that would probably be just right. 140 was, what I used to weigh 7 years ago. And I haven't been back there in a while. But if I lose that 10 pounds, I'm pretty sure it'll help come off the stomach and the back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I got 2 months. So
It's enough
it,
time to do it. Let's see, you got, you could do
if
that
I
in,
could, or if I can even do 8, like 4 pounds a month, like 1 pound a week,
yeah.
but what messes me up, I'm good in my regular daily life of eating. It's when I'm going to events and things on the weekend and I'm eating a little bit more than I normally would in a day.
Mhm.
Like yesterday, for instance, I ate my normal way of eating in the day, but then we went out to dinner with some cousins and I had a salad, but I also had a veggie pizza, no cheese, just the veggies and the marinara. But that pizza, I'm pretty sure, put me in a surplus. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So days like that, it's like um will put me backwards. Now I'm up a pound and a half. Now I know it's just water food weight.
A lot of
It's not
it,
fat
well,
yet. But now I got to spend the next couple of days trying to get that off of me and then move forward. So if I could just do my regular eating every day, 7 days a week, I could finally get to my doggone goal.
so, okay, so just a little trick you can do because you want to enjoy yourself, right? So if you still want
Yeah.
to go out with family and eat whatever you want to
Yeah.
eat at that time, you just, whatever you eat in the rest of the day, if you know you're going to be going out, you just eat less for the
Yeah.
rest of the day, right? To make up for it. You're like, well, I might eat, you know, 500 extra calories or, something like that. And you just take that out of what else you would have eaten. You can still have the same, whatever you were going to have because it's a calories thing. You know,
Right.
you
Right.
subtract from here and add to here.
Yeah. I just be my hunger is different. But anyway, yeah, I have faith in myself. I have this pressure to make this happen because it's my 50th birthday. I have to have a nice stomach. So I got this, I think.
You do got it. It's you really listen. You already know this, but I'm just reminding you. Anything that you really want to do, you'll do it. If you really want to do something, you'll do it. You'll figure it out and you'll make it
Yeah.
happen. So if it's what you really want. It's what you want for you. It'll happen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. So we're gonna bring it to a close now. I know you are when you in your bio it says PT. So physical therapist or
No, no,
physical
no,
trainer?
no. Personal training. Personal training.
Personal trainer.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I'm
sorry.
I'm NASM I'm NASM certified by the National Academy of Sports Medicine since 2009. So yeah,
Nice. And you do that full time?
I do that, but then I do multiple online things as well. I have multiple online memberships and I do a lot of
Oh,
different
you busy, busy. I heard that hustling every day. I'm hustling, hustling. No.
yeah, I'm
Um,
hustling.
yeah. So do you tell everybody, if are you taking new clients? Like if people are interested, how can they find you and everything? Or are you on a halt right now?
So yes, I'm always listen, whether I'm taking clients or not, if you guys want to reach out to me, if you have questions, this is the way I operate. I believe that all the knowledge I have should be free. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, it takes a lot of my time. So then, that's not going to be free. But if you just want knowledge, if you have questions, reach out. I'd love to answer anybody's questions. You can find me on YouTube at From Meathead to Meatless. My website is frommeatheadtomeatless.com. It's just a blog though, so you can't contact me there.
Mhm.
Contact me on Instagram, thanks to my girl here. From Meathead to Meatless. What else? From Meathead to Meatless at gmail.com. You can email me. That's, a good way to get in touch with me because, as she knows, I'm always, she doesn't know this actually, now she knows. But I answer my email more often than I answer my Instagram.
Oh, okay.
So I'm old school. I'm old school like that. And yeah, I think that's it. I think it's everything.
Okay. And I'll put everything in the description for you guys. So send me everything in all your links so I can just copy paste it and put it in there.
Will, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Every place that you want them to find you. Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Thank you
I
for having
really
me.
appreciate, yeah, this is great. I appreciate you coming on here and sharing. You're doing great. You look great, inspiring the
You
nation with
too.
your thank you. Thank you. The physique is physiquing, okay? You look great. So keep on doing what you're doing And you guys, before I get to everybody else, thank you again. I appreciate you. I really thank you for coming on here today. And it's just funny that I'm finally interviewing you because, like I said, I've been watching you, even though you didn't know me. I've been watching you for a long time, so it's really nice to have you here.
So fun fact, guys, this was my first interview. So let me just throw that out there. This is
Oh,
well, I feel like I get asked questions all the time, but this is my first like legitimate interview. So I was really excited to do this.
oh, I
Yeah,
feel
so thank
so
you. Thank you, man. This is dope.
special. I'm your first interview.
My
Yay!
first interview, yeah. I always remember it.
I like it. I like it. So thank you so much. And everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you were inspired. And if you are interested in hitting them up, you know how to find them. I'll put everything in the description below. Next week, I'll be taking a little break. And then the following week, I'll be back with Nichelle Eileen, who is a high raw vegan. And she recently did 30 days raw. So we'll talk to her about her journey on that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you again, Amone Johnson. I like that name. That's very unique. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the gram or YouTube or somewhere.
All right, sis. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right, bye.